don't know, it just gets to me. It sounds like Down on the Farm with the kids, you know. Hey everybody, welcome to Defending My Collection, my video series here on the YouTube you can watch me go through all my movies, my Blu-ray movies. Today we're going to do the D's. We're heading down that dark road of the D's. Well, it's not a dark road, it's just two giant stacks like that. You can see the big hole in the big gap in my collection there on the shelf. Yeah, we're good. This is going to be a long one again, hopefully. Although I got a couple TV series I might just right through and then we won't talk that much. But I never know what to expect in these videos. I'm sorry, I love talking. And some of you out there actually like me bringing up these like little stories that I do. I kind of like it because it does. When I go through these movies, I do kind of it brings stories to me, and I don't mind sharing. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. First off, I want to say a big thank you to the YouTube community out there that are subscribing to me. It's been, I believe, a week since I posted my defending my C's in my collection, and the viewing has been going up, which is great. The subscriptions are coming in. I believe I'm at 120 right now, which I'm very happy with. I never expected it to go, you know, 300 or 800 in one day. I mean, there's a lot of what do they call it? The blue tube. That's what I've been hearing the blue tubers talking. They were talking about their collections. They're like, welcome to the blue tube community, and I'm glad to be welcome. A couple of you said that, and thanks. You know, you guys are great, and I just want to make some shout-outs. I do shout-outs now. I see people do it on their channels, and it's like, hey, look. So I'm just going to go down the list of some of my recent subscribers. Speedstick211111, thanks for subscribing and commenting. Rockies, My Eyeboy 2, SG underscore that line, not the top one, Mido, I don't know. V for Valerio, Jim Newlands, John Smith. Is the doctor watching? Necroblood666, Blu-ray Madness, Joey Vireria. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these. I'm not a... What do you call... Instead of saying John Smith, and you do Raka13B3, what do you call that? It's your YouTube name, your YouTube title, but I don't know what they're called, and I have a hard time reading what they are. So, you know, like Drax underscore 007, that's cool. Aaron Pin, or is it Pine? I think it's Pin. Big YouTube guy out there, and I got acquainted with Aaron, not acquainted, but I started watching his videos through the Saturday Night Insanity crowd of Zarin Izarak, Skinslip, Stoudman, and the gang, Garbage Gamer, Quack, and Aaron, and they do this video show, Cathode. Oh my God! I'll put it in the description. Anyway, they do some great stuff, and these people are subscribing to me, and I'm enjoying it. Zach Burton, Falgar517, Kiddo Beast Pro, Rockets fan, Richard Monk, Parsnip Burger. Hey guy, what a collection, man! You must buy things. Are you rich? Leroy, great, 2 E's, Leeroy Green 85, The Blue Show, 4K Cinema HD, Darren Burrows, Craig likes the movies. I believe he's from the UK. Thanks for watching, guys. WrestleManiac 1130, Faxmail 3, Jim. Anyway, it goes on, and I'm so glad you guys have subscribed and are enjoying my videos. But what is it? I just spent 5 minutes. See how fast everything goes, and I haven't even gotten to the movies. All right, we're going. Actually, in the C's, I missed a movie because it was by my TV, because I watched it and I hadn't put it back on the shelf yet. So it's not a biggie, but I do like it, and I like the second one for reasons. Again, I'm defending my collection here. Not that anybody's saying, well, because you people might say, why do you have that movie? It sucks. I hated it. I'm talking about Charlie's Angels. I kind of watched the show when it was on, and I kind of like how they put it together and made it funny, and Bill Murray as, what's his name? I liked it. I'd like to see the second one. The second one kind of went way over the top, but I liked it even more. The action and it knows what it was when it was. It's a film that knows what it's trying to do and does what it does, and some people enjoy it and some people think it's just garbage, and I enjoyed it. So that was the end of the C's. I haven't made any new purchases. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing updates of pickups. That's what they're called. And anything that I buy while I'm going through this video series where I've already covered that letter, like if I buy an A movie, in whatever letter I'm on now, like the D's, if I had bought an A or a B movie, I would show it off here. As opposed to well, maybe I'll do a little video. Maybe I'll just do pickups and have little ones. Because these long videos, you know, I apologize. I hope you enjoy them, but I apologize that they are big. I like to talk, and I like to talk. Let's get to the D's. The first movie is, okay, two volcano-type movies came out back in the 90s. One was Volcano, which I didn't like. Tommy Lee Jones, I just... Volcano in the City, I didn't like. I thought Dante's Peak was a little more realistic, and I picked it up. I thought it was good. I liked it. I really liked the ending when he's in the truck and the cave is collapsing around him, and again it taps into that crawl or die, or the Descent, that claustrophobia where you're trapped and things are caving in on you. That got to me. I thought the effects were pretty good. Kind of good now. But they're still good, and there's some things, you know, like driving through the lava and the tires are melting type of thing, and the dog, you got to save the dog. But I enjoy it. It's a cool movie. This is a fantastic film, and it's a great Blu-ray. It's got tons of extras on here, including a commentary track by Roger Ebert. It's called Dark City. It's a great science fiction film. I saw this at a matinee at the theater, and at that time I was working a night shift, and instead of going home to go to bed, well, I went home, I stayed up, and then I went and saw it. And I was tired, and I fell asleep, or I didn't fall asleep through it, but I was dozing. Burp attack. And it was weird because I would kind of wake, and all of a sudden I'm seeing these visuals, and I was like, what's going on? And well, who are these Hellraiser-like people, bald guys? And Richard, what's his name? Richard O'Brien. Isn't he in? Yeah, I believe Richard O'Brien is one of the, I don't know what they call him, but the bald guys in the black leather. Richard O'Brien from Rocky Horror. Anyway, great movie. Enough's been said about it. Go online, get it in your collection. It's one definitely for the collection. This one I know Scream or Shout Factory had redone, but I picked up the first one. I haven't gotten around to getting the other one. We're talking about Darkman, Sam Raimi's Darkman. I love this movie. Another one that suffers from the blue screen-itis, I guess I'll create a term, where you can see that it's a fake background at the end when they're up on the half-built skyscraper. But I like the idea of this film. I wish there was, well, there were more sequels, but I didn't watch them because Raimi didn't do them, and I don't think they had that visual style that he has in this. This was early Raimi, and man, he knew what to do with the camera. It was great, and it was copied lots and lots of times. And I love the little cameo by Bruce Campbell in this at the very end. It would have been cool to see the sequel be with him, you know, at least partially of the way. Anyway, great movie. Didn't pick up the new one. I'm happy with that. Maybe someday I'll find it. Of course, I probably won't get the slipcover then, but to each his own. Darkman. Anything else I wanted to say on that? No. This is a fantastic film. Saw this in the theater, the theatrical cut. Loved it. Had it on Laserdisc. Had it on DVD. And I had to get it on Blu. It's not the it's not that big steelbook that comes with both versions of the movie, but this is just the director's cut version of Das Boot. Das Boot is a fantastic claustrophobic, again, just a great, great movie. See it if you haven't. Pick up that steelbook. That steelbook is kind of cool. It has a theatrical cut and the director's cut on there. Here, see? Now, just because it made me laugh, and I was a big Office fan, I had to get Steve Carell in Date Night. And I enjoy the movie. It's fun. It's just like, yeah, this is the extended edition. More hilarious scenes and outrageous outtakes not shown in theaters. Anyway, it's a fun movie. See it if you... Mark Wahlberg's pretty funny in this. Again, I'm not showing any of the stuff. Ooh, digital copy. I got to figure out what to do with my digital copy. Hey guys, write down below. Give me some ideas. I don't use the digital copies, and I have tons of movies, and should I show them? Should I be like, here it is. There's a guy out there, I subscribe to him. I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry, I apologize. But he actually does that. He says, first come, first serve. I'm showing it to you. Here's the digital code. And whoever watches the thing first will get the free movie. And I don't know if I should do that or not. I don't know. They're just sitting there. I don't even know if they're good anymore. If they expire. Do they expire like milk? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next. All right. Here's, again, this is a guilty pleasure. It's not a great movie. It's, I don't like it like Armageddon, which is something I can always throw on and have some popcorn and that. But again, I like spectacle. I've said that in earlier movies, and I think this is another Michael Bay. No, this is a Roland Emmerich. Day After Tomorrow. Global warming at its best. Put all the politics aside, leave your brain at the door and enjoy it. It's lots of extras on here. I got it because I like to see spectacle and disaster, and it's horrifying when it happens in real life, but no reason you can't enjoy fantasy. This, people love it. Again, this is my side, your side. You like it, I like it, I like it, you like it, whatever. I hated the remake of this. I kind of liked what Keanu was doing in it, but I did not like the ending. And it was kind of like sacrilegious. It's one of those films you shouldn't touch. I'm talking about Day the Earth Stood Still. Bernard Herrmann's awesome score in this. The transfer is beautiful. The movie is one of those classics I grew up watching on The Late Show. And Gort, oh my God, it's considered at one time to be a B movie. Now considered maybe still to be a B movie, but it's more of a classic. And I love this movie. Again, lots of special features on there. Get it if you haven't. If you've only seen the remake with Keanu, see this one. Don't be bored by it. Watch it. You're watching art. You're watching. It's great. And here's again, looking at the spectacle. I got Cliffhanger. I like Stallone. Stallone was one of our guys. You had Schwarzenegger. You had Bruce Willis. You had Stallone. They were our actioners of the 80s and 90s, and even still today with the Expendables and stuff. Although Bruce Willis is phoning it in a lot. I'm sorry. But I still like him. I watch what his stuff is. We're talking about this Stallone movie. Had it on Laserdisc, and I love the hell out of it. Daylight. Favorite scene in this is when he's going through the fans. He has to get... I'm not going to get into it. If you've seen the movie, see it. If you haven't, you'll be surprised by watching it because I'm not going to give anything away. But there's a scene where he's going through a ventilation and there's these giant fans turning on as he's got to go through, and it's getting faster and faster. The audio, the sound effects of that thing is great. Again, if you have a good sound system. But I liked it. I think there's a Daniel Harris, a young Daniel Harris in here, Scream Queen, modern Scream Queen. I'm surprised that's still around, the Scream Queen thing, after Linnea Quigley and Jamie Lee, right? Fay Wray, original Scream Queen? Probably Fay Wray, right? King Kong and Most Dangerous Game. What a scream that woman had. Well, we'll talk about King Kong when we get there. But my God, you listen to some of that audio of her screaming is unbelievable. It's just, she had a great scream. This, I was so pleasantly pleased that Criterion did it. Again, had the Laserdisc, had the Blu-ray. Well, I got the Blu-ray. Well, I bought the Blu-ray, and then I bought this when Criterion came out, double dipping. You had to, because it had tons of extras. I love this movie. This takes place right at the time, talking about Dazed and Confused. All right. That's where this came from, Matthew McConaughey. I knew a guy just like his character in this. I knew all these guys. I knew all these characters. I was in school, 76. I believe this takes place in 76. Yeah. And I was in school. In 76. I graduated grammar school in 74. So I was right there. And all the music, the cars, although this is in California, so the school looked a little more modern with the lockers. We had older kind of lockers. And there was hazing, but it wasn't that bad here in Chicago, at least not in my neighborhood. Nobody chased me down to hit me with a paddle. But this is a great Criterion. It has a slip cover, yeah, and it opens up. It's kind of nice. It's like those Christmas, where you can see the heads in there. I think that was one of those Christmas things where you open the door. Anyway, this is a fantastic version. Comes with a great book. Ooh, can't show it there. And then the discs and some nice 70s artwork. This and Freaks and Geeks. Oh, it comes with a poster, I believe, too, which I never opened. Yeah, I'm just going to... Wow, blacklight posters. Just seeing this green, that it brings me right back to having black. Kids of the day, people say they're spoiled, and they have no respect. Got no respect, these kids of the day. But anyway, the 70s was so laid back. Well, there was issues going on. There were so many things going on. But just the fact that after school you came home and you had your bedroom and you put your stereo on and you turned the lights out, or you're in the basement and you put the black light on the nice velvet poster, and you were too young to drink, although you snuck, or you snuck a little weed. But it was just it just brings me back. It was great growing up throughout the 70s and the 80s. 80s, well, that was a whole other thing. Anyway, Dazed and Confused. Okay, here's something I bought sight unseen. I saw it was coming out, and it was real cheap. And I looked online, and I watched the trailer, and I go, oh, this is kind of cool. This is like a throwback to the Toho films. Although this is a modern movie. This was done in 2010 as kind of a tribute to the Toho films. I'm talking about Death Kappa, or Kappa. It's kind of disappointing because not a lot of the giant monster stuff happens until like near the end of the movie. There's a lot of exposition and stuff that happens before, but it's still a fun ride. It comes with the slip cover, which I'll have to show. I don't think there's any like reversible, no, but it comes with DVD and Blu-ray. It's a fun little creature. He's no Godzilla, of course. He's no Ghidorah or Rodan or Mothra or anything like that. But he's kind of like a cute monster, and it's a fun movie. It's not, probably the next time I put this on, I'll just go to the monster scenes and watch those, because I can always go to the Godzilla movies if I want. But that's fun. It was cheap, so I picked it up. Here's a remake, and I actually like the remake. The way where they took this, I thought they did a very good idea with it, as opposed to the Roger Corman, which is kind of a pseudo-classic, real B movie. But hey, just want to shamelessly plug this website, podcast, the B Movie Cast. Thanks, Vince, for the shirt, for offering these to all the B Movie Cast listeners. B movies, I loved them. Beginning of the end, Giant Grasshoppers, them, Giant Spider, all those movies, Bucket of Blood, the Roger Corman stuff, the old stuff. I love that stuff. In the DVDs, I got tons of that stuff. And I started listening to this podcast. I was looking for information on, it's funny, well, I'm going to tell it. I don't care how long this goes. I was looking for information on the movies I Was a Teenage Werewolf and I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. And those haven't been released for rights issues, I guess. I think they were on Laserdisc or something, because I do have a copy that I copied. That's a pretty decent quality. And in fact, How to Make a Monster actually has like the color ending, although How to Make a Monster I think did come out on DVD, but Teenage Frankenstein, Teenage Wolfman didn't. And I was just searching around like why, and I came across the B-Movie podcast, and they were Vince in the group, Mary, Vince, Juan. Well, Juan was there for a while, from the beginning. Well, not from the beginning. And then Nick Brown, great writer, Werewolf for Hire series. I started listening to the podcast, and it's a great podcast if you like B-movies, although they don't only cover B-movies. They do modern movies, too. But they're very easy listening. They're relaxing. They joke around, and it's just a real nice podcast. They go through the whole thing, the text. They go through the specs, the storyline of the movie. Nick does the storylines, which are sometimes real funny in his goofy voices. And then there's a lot of listener feedback that comes on at the end, and that stuff's interesting because you hear about things and releases on DVD and stuff that you might not even know about. But anyway, he recently started selling these to the fans, and you should go out there and get it. Look at Invasion of the Saucermen, another classic B-movie that is not out anywhere on DVD. Anyway, sidetrack, bmoviecast.com. Go and listen. Give Vince, Mary, Nick, and Juan a listen. They're great. Anyway, got from the B-movie Death Race from Roger Corman. We're talking about Death Race, the remake with the slipcover. And this is this has two versions of the movie, the theatrical and the unrated version. I like I said, what they did with this. I thought the action was great, the cars, the situation that you're in a prison on that little secluded island thing. I thought it was great. Jason Statham. Became a Jason Statham fan, with Crank and the Transporter films, the first two. I didn't care for the third, and I guess they got a new guy doing it now. But anyway, this movie came out of nowhere, and it was like breath of fresh air. Someone who knows how to do a zombie movie. Talking about the Ford brothers, The Dead, and it was kind of hard to find until it got its release, because there's so many movies called The Dead, or you do a search for The Dead, and all these other Light of the Living Dead and things come out. But this takes place in Africa. And slow-moving, very decayed, very deformed, twisted, broken arms, legless, armless, just like the Fulci zombies, where they're just stuttering, staggering around, and then they come at you. And there's some pretty intense scenes, like where they're slow-moving and you can get away from them. But if you don't have a car and you're trying to get your car to work and they're just slowly coming and you're still trying because they're going to get close, and when they get close, what are you going to do? And anyway, it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. Most horror fans probably seen this one. Get it for your collection. Zombie movies, there's so many now. There's so many bad ones, bad ones. But props to you for making a movie and got it released on DVD. Or a small theatrical. God bless you, because, again, making a movie in general is a tough job. By the way, B-Movie Cast, Nick Brown, good luck on your movie. After that, the sequel came out. Same directors, the Ford brothers, and trying to find out where this takes place, because it's not in Africa. Oh, India. This one takes place in India. It's the same situation, but with different characters. And maybe not as good as the first, but I rank it equal. I'll watch both of these as a double bill, and it's great. And I kind of hope they do a third one. Again, just creepy. Oh, comes with the slipcover. Talked about this recently. I just watched this the other day in one of the What's Rogers Watching. We Well, if you did, we watched me looking for a movie to watch that night, and I picked DEATHWISH, and I was very surprised with it. It was a beautiful transfer for its time, very grainy, but I totally forgot Jeff Goldblum was one of the rapists, one of the criminals, and very, very young Jeff Goldblum, which was pretty fun to see. But anyway, great movie, kind of important for its time, kind of groundbreaking. Vigilante. I think it was based on a real guy, and that's when they made it. I haven't done that yet. But the sequels, I kind of liked 2. I don't remember much of it. Don't remember much of 3 at all, although I think 3 is the one where he gets the community to fight back against the crime. I don't think there's a DEATHWISH box set on Blue, but probably when the others come out, I might end up picking them up if they're at a nice low price. I really gotta save now. I can't. This month, I know there's some great stuff coming out. It follows. And hey, guys, did you see those steelbooks that they're Comic-Con exclusives? They're doing like Batman 66, and they're doing some other movies, but they're really cool. The Batman one looked great. It had Cesar Romero's Joker laughing face on the cover. But there's some really nice steelbooks that are exclusively through Comic-Con, and I'm sure they're going to go for high prices. Not big on steelbooks, but if it's a cool one, I'll pick it up. I'm not going to double dip on a steelbook. Like if I have this and then they come out with the steelbook of DEATHWISH, I'm not going to buy it again just for the steelbook. I just wanted a movie. Here's another great Arrow, man. Again, this is out on. Is this out in America? Deep Red, Profondo Rosso. I don't know if it's out in America. But anyway, like I said, when I got the All Region and I found out Arrow was doing all these great horror films, I had to order it. I'm not waiting. I want to see the thing now. I want to have it in my collection now. Again, great. Comes with the nice booklet and poster. Really cool poster. Reversible slip cover. Not reversible slip cover, reversible cover. Comes in a nice box slip cover. Kicking myself, I never picked up the Day of the Dead. I really, really would love to have their version of, the Arrow version of Day of the Dead. And well, they never did Night, or they never did Dawn, I don't think. They only had the DVD of Dawn. But I got the big DVD mega set of Dawn that has all the different cuts on it. But anyway, what was that? Deep Red. Oh, great movie. Argento. The score, again. Italian horror cinema. I really got into Argento. I think I mentioned I really like opera. Deep Red. Tenebrae is my favorite, probably Giallo. And Inferno. That creepy underwater room scene is just with the bare feet and kicking the dead head and some creepy stuff in there. I wish his third, what was it even called? The trilogy of the witches, the Suspiria, Inferno, and then I can't even think of what the name of the third one was, but I didn't like it. It was okay. This is one of those 2-movie double featured deals. One of these movies I didn't care for when I first originally had it on or saw it on DVD. One I absolutely love. Monster movie. I bought it for Deep Rising, and it came with Puppet Masters. I didn't like Puppet Masters. I thought it was just a bad Invasion of the Body Snatchers ripoff. But I watched it recently on this disc, and I enjoyed it. It the second time I kind of gave it its chance, and it's like, okay, it's a cool movie. I still will watch Deep Rising more. It's just a fun Treat Williams. Now what? I wish there was a sequel, because that ending when they finally get off the ship and then they're on the island and they're now what? I just thought the movie was great. He's a guy out of he's got bad guys and you got to go here and a robber. He's stuck in the middle of this thing and the Argonautica. I think it was the Argonautica. A lot of good people in the movie. I can't say enough. The effects are great. A great monster movie. I thought this was just as good as like Tremors or what's another good monster? Anyway, let's move on. I talk too much. You talk too much. Wow. This is well. It's sealed because it's one of those movies that you got to be in the mood for. It's a fantastic movie. Lots been said about it. Go look on the web. The Deer Hunter. This is one of the Universal Anniversary with the slip cover that opens. Again, still sealed. Wow, emotionally, it'll rip you up. Fantastic performances. Oh, yeah. Enough said. I'll have to watch that again. It's kind of a chore. It's like the whole opening and then them out there, and then when they come home and walking, doing just a great flick. Deer Hunter. And another one. Now maybe I didn't have this on Blu. I had this on DVD. Again, I had everything on everything. Laserdiscs and all that. Deliverance. Another one. This is still sealed too. Again, it's one of those to take that ride. A lot of funny stuff that people bring up about this movie, but in reality, it's not that funny. Squeal Like a Pig and the Banjo Kid and old Clue Gallagher, with his arm, and Gulager. Yeah, haven't watched this yet. He's got some good documentary stuff on here, commentary. Wow, 4-part 35th anniversary retrospective. One for the collection. It's needed. It's one of those staple movies that, if you're a movie fan or if you just know movies, Deliverance, Deer Hunter, Demolition Man, Guilty as Pleasure, again, Stallone, Wesley Snipes when he was just getting in there, Major League, he's hilarious in, and he's pretty funny in this. This movie's a lot of fun. This movie is just loaded with fun. The whole cursing and having to pay the thing, and the Taco Bell being the restaurant of all restaurants, and the what's his name in the underground? I can't even think of that comedian's name. Oh, and it's not on here. Oh, but anyway, Wesley Snipes, Out of Time, Warm Liquid Goo Phase from Austin Powers was taken from that. Love it. Some people had to wait until they finally released this in the U.S., and I didn't. I said, no, I want these movies on Blu-ray. I love these movies. So I got the import steelbook of Demons and Demons 2. Look at that artwork. Look at that. That's pretty damn cool artwork. Look at that. Man, this was one of those quintessential gore flicks. Demons 1, Demons 2. Of course, this is Region PAL. It's got one of the cards with all the things. And it's Cat o' Nine Tails. Wow. Oh, and this even has, like, some artwork on the inner. I like when steelbooks, when I do get steelbooks, have the inner artwork. And it's got a little book. Just flip through that. But yeah, love the score of Demons, the first one. The gore effects, though somewhat, well, the neck blowing up like a balloon, and then it's kind of bladder, just. Or did they use a condom? I don't know. But years before it came out in the U.S., I've been watching it on Blu-ray in this version. And again, Arrow has some great extras on here. It's just great. I took off the back thing with the sticky boogers, you know, and it's in a... I saved those too. You know, most people really want the movies with the slip covers, and then you get those back cards on certain special editions like this, and I'm saving those. People save those too. So it's getting very bright, sir. It's getting bright in here. I hope it's not too bright for you. The image thing on my camera really like blasts it out. I have like no detail on my face. I look super white. So I don't know if there's an adjustment I can do on that, but I don't want to finagle with it because then the actual visual, because then when I do transfer it to the computer and upload it, it looks fine. So this is another one, you know, in the A's I was talking about An Idiot Abroad, Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais, his Office was great. I wish that would be on Blu-ray. It's only a DVD. The same with his series Extras, which is hilarious series. And I wish that had a Blu-ray release. And then the Office, his original Office has that special that came later where it's kind of a documentary on where all the Office people went, and that thing, I love that thing. That was just amazing. He's got a unique sense of humor, Ricky Gervais. He's in that category of uncomfortable humor, where his characters are either, you just feel uncomfortable sometimes. Stephen Merchant just recently did a show called Hello Ladies, and in a special, and that was one of those uncomfortable type humor situation things. But anyway, this I'm talking, we're in the D's. He did a show called Derek, and there he is, Ricky Gervais, playing this character who, mentally challenged? Or is he? Is he really just a genius of a great little guy who looks at life way differently than most people and sees the beauty in life and the beauty in people? Some of the episodes in here, the pilot episode had me bawling my eyes out. I'm choking up now. We're going to move on. If you haven't seen Derek, see Derek. Fuck, man. Didn't mean that. I gotta think of the Queen Mary getting on the toilet or something. Okay, next movie. I love Derek. Yeah, I got this double feature. Robert Rodriguez, his first movie, El Mariachi, along with Desperado. I love Desperado. The use of music, his editing, his slow-mo, his Danny Trejo, man. Oh. The knife guy. Anyway, these are great movies. And Robert Rodriguez is fantastic of a person, a director who knows how to make his movies on DVD and Blu-ray. He has all kind of extras on there. And he does little cooking shows on some of them. And he's really... I wish he would stay away from Machete. And I know people love Machete. Nothing against Machete. I don't have either one of them in my collection. Maybe when he's done and he does Machete in space and there'll be a box set, I'll pick it up. But I did like this. And you get a cameo of the From Dusk Till Dawn crotch gun. If you look closely, when they open his case in one scene in Desperado, there it is. So it's got some photos on the inside. But anyway, it was a good release. I like both those movies. He's got a great book. I forgot what it was called. Rebel Without a Crew, I think, where he talks about his making of El Mariachi. Very good. Okay, I brought this movie up a few times, and I won't talk much about it. Horror fans have it. The Descent. I really hated the way they, when the U.S. decided to bring it over here, they tacked on a happy ending. Well, actually, they didn't tack it on. They cut off the tragic original ending and just ended it with her in the car type of thing. But I like the bleakness of the ending, the gore, the blood. The creatures are kind of cool. The Descent, cool movie. I'm glad this just came out this year, I believe, on Blu-ray. Another one of those movies that, like Dazed and Confused, there's 3 of them in my mind. Well, you can even add, well, Dazed and Confused, Detroit Rock City, and The Stoned Age, which I wish would come out on Blu-ray. I have the DVD of it, The Stoned Age. Not many people know about The Stoned Age. S-T-O-N-E-D, Stoned. Like you don't know what stoned means. Those 3 movies all kind of take place in the era that I was in school, so I totally relate. This has a fantastic soundtrack, so many songs in here. I was floored. I had the album, and it was a hit, and it was one of those cheesy songs. And there's a scene in here when one of the characters is in like a convenience store, and he's having a confrontation with some big bully guys, and Popcorn by Hot Butter is playing on the music. I'm like, popcorn? Someone's playing popcorn in a movie. Boop, 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 boop. Anyway, Detroit Rock City, love it. I still have the DVD, the snapper case of this, because I love the menu, and it had this really cool like slideshow, like you're in school. Conjunction Junction is another thing. They show a school class, and they're playing Conjunction Junction, which if you don't know what that is, that's Schoolhouse Rock. It's something that we grew up watching on Saturday mornings. Okay. We got a whole bunch. Here we can just go through 7 Blu-rays. This show got all the seasons. Yeah, didn't buy that nice set, that blood thing box, which was great. Just like the Breaking Bad, I didn't buy the barrel, although you can get it pretty cheap now. I don't think I'll rebuy it. It's like double dipping. It's the same discs, although in the Breaking Bad you get that extra documentary disc, which is really cool. Dexter, I don't know if it comes with anything extra that were on these. Disappointed that there are like no extras on the Dexter set. I think there are if you're hooked up to the internet and you can do the live thing, but you know, this show was hot. Well, didn't see it from the beginning. When I think it was CBS bought it and they started showing it on regular broadcast television because it's a Showtime show, but they cut all the gory stuff out, so that's where I kind of caught it. I was like, this is kind of a cool show. What is this show? And then I found out it was Dexter. Oh, that's a Showtime show. Then I read online. It's like, oh, it's cut. Well, I got to see the original, and I think that was right around season 1, maybe right when it first came out. And I loved the show. It was cool, man. Up to season 4 with John Lithgow. What a performance! What a season! That entire season. When you get to that one dinner scene later in the season, and Lithgow, as calm as possible, is just starting to curse. He says something to the wife, and it's like, oh, this is that guy. Oh, Lithgow played that part brilliantly. Hello, Dexter. Dexter Morgan. But the next couple seasons, wandered around, did some things with Deb. Oh, and then it ended. And then Dexter ended the way it did. And there were a lot of the Dexter community loved the show and we're waiting for that final episode, and that final season we thought was going to be maybe a cat and mouse chase. Everybody knows who he is, what he did, and it's going to go off that direction, and it didn't, and it didn't like the ending, folks. Didn't like the way it wrapped up. Nope. No, sir, I don't like it. This is one of those horror movies I saw as a little kid at the theater. What year is this? 65. So I probably saw it at a drive-in with my parents, or my brother maybe took me to the theater. I do remember this in a theater, not at a drive-in. Karloff and Die Monster Die. I had to get this on Blu-ray. I had the DVD. I don't know if I still have it. There are a few movies. I love the Corman Poe movies with Price. I wish a box set of just those would come out. But anyway, Die Monster Die really kind of had a hold on me as a little kid, 6, 7-year-old seeing the thing. Really, there was one image, I think it was the wife, that her face was just all like something, and then blood just started coming out of, and that freaked me out as a little kid. And then him is that glowing because of the meteor. Anyway, we're down to the end of the first stack. We have another stack, but I'll go through this fast. This classic TV, folks, holds up. Genius, genius, genius. Grew up watching this show. Not going to say much about it. So many classic episodes, so many classic situations. Carl Reiner, the writing, the acting. People might see this like on TV Land, and it's like, Dick Van Dyke Show. Yeah, okay. But no, to me, this and like the Honeymooners and Gilligan and the Munsters and Addams Family, they all have a special, you know. And I got this set, and I watched it, and I was floored by the quality. The quality is unbelievable. The extras are really fun. Lots of great stuff on here. And I actually watched it from beginning to end when I first got it. It took me a few months because I was watching maybe 2, 3 episodes a night. And I got to that final episode, and I totally forgot. It's very self-aware. I'm not going to go into it, but things happen in that final episode that they filmed that it's like, are we watching a TV show, or it was cool. It was cool. I'm going to go through these real quick. All right. Die Hard. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard. Die Harder should come before with a Vengeance. Live Free, or Don't Say the F Word because it's not R. And The Piece of Crap. All right. Die Hard. Great movies. The first 3. I actually like. Not many people liked the second one. I love the second one. Again, winter, feels chilly. Watch it at the Christmas time. Actually, you can watch the first one because it takes place at Christmas. It is kind of a. Both of those are. Actually, I watch usually. I watch the first one around Christmas, and the second one I watch around New Year's. And the third one I watch usually when it's really hot, like a July, like around now, because it takes place. Hot sun city, and back of my neck, and it's cool. Sam Jackson was a nice addition to it, and it had a good story the way it connected to the first one. Again, the fourth one suffers from being not R, yippee-ki-yay, mother bang, but it does have some. It has some cool set pieces. I kind of like the on the jet, him on the wing falling, and but this one, enough's been said online about it. Not even going to go on, but completist, got to have it. And it comes with the slipcover, big fucking dude. All right, moving on. This came out, I believe this year too, as a double. I'd never seen the second one. I still haven't seen the second one, but I saw the first one years and years ago. When did this come out? 2010? Or did this disc come out at 2010? 2005. There we go. That makes more sense. Yeah, back in like 2005, I was able to find a copy and watch this, and I really enjoyed it. Talking about District B13 and District 13 Ultimatum, which is the one I didn't see. But I'm going to have to watch it. But I enjoyed it. It was a good actioner. What do they call that where they run? And parkour. It was like one of the first parkour? Is that how you say it? Movies. And just pretty cool. Really, I'm glad it came out on Blu-ray with the original language and a nice double. Speaking of District, we got District 9 with the slipcover. Tight slipcover. Oh, I like them when they're tight. Although they put like sticky ads on there. And, well, these I don't mind too much, but this, I don't know, PlayStation, God of War, God of War. District 9, again, came out of nowhere. Was this Guillermo? Guillermo. Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson saw the short film Neil Blomkamp made, and based on that, he said, hey, this guy's going to make a movie. And they let him make this movie, and it was really cool. It was a great story, and some really good visual effects, and that ending, again, it's touching. I'm not going to cry, but it's very, very touching with the metal flower. I wonder if they'll ever do a District 10 or a sequel to that, because didn't the alien guy say he's going to come back in 10 years? So this is 2005. The sequel should be out now. Blomkamp's doing other stuff. Isn't he the one that's kind of attached to do the new Alien movie? Yeah, he just did Chappie, didn't he? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, this is a classic. This is one of those that you had to get in your collection because it's one of those movie staples everybody talks about, knows about. Dirty Dozen. Lee Marvin. You're a big Lee Marvin fan, aren't you? Ernest Borgnine. What a great guy. Jim Brown, Charles Bronson, Cassavetes, Richard Jackal, George Kennedy, Tina Lowe. Wow. So many people. Telly Savalas. Great movie. Dirty Dozen. Django. Django. Slipcover. Excuse the big belch. Tarantino, man. He just came on the scene. Reservoir Dogs. Wow. Pulp Fiction. Wow. Jackie Brown. This guy, Kill Bill. Who is this guy? He's making these great movies. Django I really enjoyed. Kind of controversial, especially when they came out with the toy figures of Django and, slavery and all that stuff. I think those were pulled. Collectors have them now, going for high prices. I really love the humor in this. Lots of great cameos, from Savini to Tarantino himself to the original Django. I can't think of the actor's name, who was in the original Django movies. But liked this one. Liked it a lot. Got it for the collection. This one I kind of heard things about, but didn't know much about it. Didn't even know it was like a... Oh, excuse me, folks, for wiping my nose. Didn't even know it was like a web series thing that came out. I just knew it was on Blu-ray, and it came down to like $9 or something, so I picked it up, and I absolutely love it. Again, my theater background with musicals, I love the music in this, and the lyrics, the way it's written, and it's just a fun movie. Dr. Horrible. Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. And, of course, Joss Whedon. Firefly was the first Joss Whedon thing I ever really knew about. Didn't know Joss Whedon. I knew the show. And when I got this, and then I watched it, and then watched the extras, and then went online and read all about it, I found out about the Joss Whedon universe and the fan base he has. And now, he's Mr. Marvel, doing those great superhero movies. Wow, this is a movie I saw at the theater. Both of them saw at the theater. Loved both of them. There was a Vincent Price set that came out that had a lot of really good movies in it. And the first movie on this set is in that set. And then I think it was this year or just the end of last year, they came out with the second Vincent Price set. And the sequel was in there. But recently, Arrow, the great Arrow, decided to bring out both movies in one nice set. Dr. Phibes, Vincent Price, nice, soft, matte, not shiny, it's book-like. Opens up, wow, opens up to nothing. Opens up, here's a book. Look how thick that is. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. On Phibes, and Phibes rises again. Here we have the abominable Dr. Phibes. It's kind of a thin little thing, but picture of Joseph Cotton. And here's Phibes Rises Again. Peter Cushing. Yeah, these movies, the music, especially Phibes, especially the first Phibes movie. And I believe Dr. Phibes was Vincent Price's 100th movie. I used to have, and I might still have, a VHS tape. There was a special that was aired on, that's the back, that was aired on television back in the maybe late 70s, early 80s, called the Horror Hall of Fame. And one of the earliest shows, I still have it videotaped. I have a few of them videotaped because they had a couple of them. But one of the first ones had Vincent Price. I believe he was in, I believe it was the Horror Hall of Fame special. And he was interviewed, and he says, "Oh, you're coming out with your..." Well, no, it couldn't be, because they were just talking about Dr. Phibes. So maybe it wasn't Horror Hall of Fame. Maybe it was another type of horror show where they had horror people on there, and they talked about horror movies. But it was on television, and the host was saying, "Well, you're coming out with this new movie, Dr. Phibes, which happens to be your 100th movie," and I think that's wrong. But I remember Price kind of laughing and saying, "When I first got the script, I thought it said the abominable Dr. Phibes." Abominable. Anyway, can't say enough about Dr. Phibes. I love Dr. Phibes. Gosh, and if you think of the new Saw movies, well, new, they're old, there's 8, 9 of them, they're pretty much Dr. Phibes. It's a guy, you know, the Jigsaw doesn't have well, I guess he did have a master plan, but it wasn't like a revenge thing because his wife died or anything like the Phibes is, but it had the curses. And what I'm getting at with the Saw thing is the final where the doctor had to cut open his son to get the key to unlock the neck lock that was holding his body in place, where acid was going to drop down and deform him, and so that it was a race. So it was kind of like the Saw, you know, with the jaw thing, and you had to dig into your neck or dig into somebody to get the key so you can release yourself. But anyway, that's what I was saying. And then there's well, we'll get to it, but Theater of Blood is very Phibes-like. Well, we're already close to the hour mark. I'm not gonna, and we only got that much left. We're not doing too well, or too good. We're not doing too bad. Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. Oh, lenticular. Doctor Who. The specials. Yeah, I'm a fan. I've been a fan since I can go real quick into this. First thing I ever saw, well, the very first thing, my friend Bill Partika, who passed away. So sad, so young. Not real young, but in his 30s. No, wow, in his 40s. I think it was in the 40s because it's been a while. Poor Bill, he passed away. And Bill was one of my friends. He was probably one of my first friends. He was one of my very first friends from a little kid. And when we were teens, I used to go to his house. We'd hang out and watch TV. And he was a tinkerer. He would take apart things. And this was right around the time calculators just came out. The watch calculator. Remember those? They were just coming out. Technology was, wow. But he had some show on, and it was a Pertwee episode. It was a John Pertwee Doctor Who episode, and he was watching it, and we were just, you know, hanging out and talking, and we're watching, and I'm like, "What are you watching? What is this?" And he said, "Oh, that's Doctor Who," and he kind of told me something, and it went whoosh over my head, and it was like British. Oh, okay. And I was into Python and stuff, so I was like, oh, it's a British show. So okay. It was probably, well, it was years later when PBS, our public broadcasting television channel, which was our channel 11 in Chicagoland, started airing the Doctor Who episodes a half hour a day, like they used to be in England. They used to be a serial form. not Cheerios or Lucky Charms, but a cereal form, chapter 1, chapter 2. Doctor Who, what am I going through? But anyway, I tuned in and I caught an episode of The Talons of Wang Chiang, which was my very first Doctor Who episode that I watched the entire thing through. And it was chapter form and 6-parter, I believe. And I was like, I don't know what the show is, but it's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes, because Tom Baker wasn't wearing the scarf and the coat. He was wearing like a Sherlock Holmes hat and a long coat. And he had Leela at the time, who was dressed very Victorian. So I thought it was kind of like a weird sci-fi Sherlock Holmes. But I saw the name Doctor Who, and I was like, oh, okay. But it didn't really connect because it wasn't the same doctor. It wasn't John Pertwee. It was a different guy, curly hair and the big eyes. And hi, would you like a jelly baby? And I was floored by that episode. I was like, so that's my very first Doctor Who episode, and it's probably one of my favorites. Tom Baker is my doc. Gosh, there's so many great stories. Pyramids of Mars and, Deadly Assassin with the Master. Anyway, I'm so glad for Richard Davies. Oh my God, why can't I? Why is my Richard? It's Richard. But anyway, I'm so glad they brought the show back, and it was fun. It was great to have the doc back. Christopher Eccleston, I really enjoyed his doctor. I wish there wasn't any bad things going on, that he refuses to come back and do anything. Tennant was great. Again, he was like, wow, this guy stayed a little too long, I thought. But then again, some stories were good, some stories were kind of Matt Smith came on. I remember hearing, Matt Smith? That's like John Smith. What kind of a name is that? Who is this Matt Smith guy? He's like a young, like lanky kind of guy. He's going to be the doctor? And they kept getting older with the doctor, or younger. And I was like, what is going on? Are we going to have a little toddler as the doctor in one season? But anyway, Matt Smith floored a whole bunch of people, man. And Matt Smith is like a lot of people's favorite doctor. And actually, Matt Smith was the doctor when they really started bringing the Who phenomena to America and worldwide, actually. So Matt Smith was great, and now we got Peter Capaldi, which I'm enjoying, although I'm not enjoying a lot of the stories. His first season was, I hope they get better. Jenna Coleman, and the companions, Amy Pond, beautiful eye candy. And then, of course, the big anniversary came around, and I'm not going to spend too much time, but I got time in the doctor. This was Matt Smith's last. This is before he regenerated into Capaldi. And you're wondering, where's the other one? It's in the 3D section with all my 3D films, because that special was in 3D, and it looks fantastic. The depth is amazing on there. Doctor Who in 3D. It's when all the TARDISes are going and all the it was such a great special. It was just a great special. And speaking of great, An Adventure in Space and Time, which is the making of the very first episode of Doctor Who at the BBC, at the Beeb, and man, Mark Gatiss is going to take over Who. I think once Moffat is done, Mark Gatiss should step in, because with his, Anyway, I this is fantastic. Even if you're not a Doctor Who fan, this is definitely worth a watch. If you don't want anything about Doctor, just watch this. It's a fantastic story of how these producers tried to get this show, this science fiction educational show, on television, and all the issues they had with putting it up, and then the lead actor, health-wise, having to leave, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful tribute to the whole history and story of Doctor Who and the show, and it's just a great, great kind of a biopic. Okay, moving on. Let's get going through these real quick because we're over an hour. Dodgeball! Fun movie. Like it. Repeat viewings, not as much. Loved it the first time I saw it. Have moments. But not as great as I remembered it or liked it. Well, I kind of mentioned this the other day when I was looking for something to watch, and I picked DEATHWISH, Dog Day Afternoon, Pacino. Again, one of our greatest actors that came out through the 70s and 80s. And, great flick. Need to have it in your collection. Great story. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen this. I'm going to have to watch this one again. Is this the one with the village with the women? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, cool zombie comedy. Doghouse. And this is an import from the UK. I do not know if it's out in the US. You can look. But Doghouse is a fun movie. Danny Dyer, Noel Clarke, which is... Noel Clarke, he was Mickey in the Tenant... The ones with Rose. He was Rose's boyfriend in the Doctor Who's. I believe that's him. Anyway, it's a funny movie. It's British. It's kind of like a Shaun of the Dead, but it's these guys going out for a boozing weekend, and they get to this little town, and they realize there's no one around, and especially men. Where's everybody? And then all of a sudden, these zombie women come along, and it's cool because the zombies. There's one from a hair salon, so she has like scissors and stuff, and they use kind of weapons. It's just a funny movie. See it if you haven't. If you're a zombie fan and you're looking for zombie comedies, that's one of my favorites. Getting to the end. Uh-oh, I hit the camera. Stop that. Oh, another one that Scream/Shout Factory brought out very recently that I haven't picked up, and I'm going to pick up because the special features on this is 5.1 digital surround, English, Spanish subtitles, and previews. That's it. But the Scream Factory version has tons of extras, and I'm probably going to upgrade. Yeah. I'm talking about Dog Soldiers, one of the best werewolf movies that have come out in the past years. Sorry, those people that like Wolf Cop, it's a little too cheesy for me. And that's sacrilegious. Well, that's not right coming out of me because I love dodgeball. You know, I love stupid stuff. Why don't I like Wolf Cop? I enjoyed it. I laughed at it, but I don't think I'm going to have it in my collection. Don't need to see it again. Just like Sharknado. People, why do you like Sharknado? It knows what it is. And as it goes on, and the fan base growing, it's reacting with that. It knows what it is, and I love that. There's something about Sharknado, which I'll probably talk about when we get to it, because I got both of them on Blu-ray. There's something about Sharknado being self-aware, knowing what it is, and then you got something like Crocagator meets Mansquito, or something like that. And I don't see the fun in those movies. I see them trying to do a serious movie with very cheap special effects and terrible writing and terrible acting. Sharknado has cheesy bad special effects, has bad acting, has bad writing, but it's done on purpose. And that to me is why I like that. And I have a friend who just cannot understand why I like it and why there's a fan base. Anyway, Dog Soldiers. Sharknado, Dog Soldier. Oh, I was talking about Wolf Cop. Great movie. See that. Didn't have this movie. Kind of a guilty pleasure. I'm kind of becoming a really big fan of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And I had this on DVD years ago. And I didn't get it on Blu-ray. And then this Steelbook came out. And I ended up buying the Steelbook of Doom. The game. This is Doom unrated. Nice Steelbook. Oh, digital copy. I'm going to hold that because I don't know what I'm doing with them yet. But there you go. Looks like DVD, Blu-ray. It's a fun movie. I watched it when I got it, and it still holds up. It's a fun movie. I like the first person scene, the first person view scene, like the video game. There's like a little, maybe it's a 3-4 minute section of the movie that does that, and I kind of like the way it does that. This was a cool movie. Neil Marshall directed, and I haven't watched it since I originally got it, but I remember really liking it. It took a lot from other movies. It borrowed concepts and storylines and things from other movies, but I just liked it for what it was. I'm talking about Doomsday. This is the unrated version with a slipcover. Yeah, I just kind of... yeah, it's kind of a guilty pleasure. I'm defending my collection. I like this movie. I'm sorry if you think it sucks, but I like it. Defending. Don't come near my collection. It's mine. It's mine, not yours. Oh man, I remember standing in line around the block to see this movie for the first time on opening night in Chicago, the city. I went to the city to see it, not like a neighborhood theater. I liked the atmosphere, the visuals, the cinematography, as it were. Hearing Bram Stoker's Dracula, Coppola, hearing that Hopkins was going to be Van Helsing really had I was like, oh, that's going to be great. I was kind of disappointed with his Van Helsing. Gary Oldman, I liked the opening with him as the old Dracula. The young Dracula is kind of doing that. The movie on a whole is kind of... yeah, we got Keanu doing his trying to British accent. But anyway, it's a guilty pleasure. It's one of the scores I like a lot. Musical scores that's used a lot in was used a lot in trailers and things. But it's in the collection. Got it. Got it good. Got it cheap. Wow, Sam Raimi came back to horror big time with Drag Me to Hell. Damn these stickers. I didn't even attempt it because I know it's going to rip. You get the unrated and the theatrical cut on this. Slipcover. A fun ride. A fun ride. Kind of a little bit like Curse of the Demon with the scroll and whoever has it, although it's not. But Raimi came back to horror big time. I'd love him to come back more. Man, that really perturbs me. It even covers up the name of the thing. Drag 'em to hell or heel. Anyway, horror fans have that in their collection. I know they do. Oh wow, this was a blind buy. Maybe I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks really kind of cool. And I'm a fan for children's movies. Well, not children's movies, but family fare. Like the Toy Stories, the Pixar stuff, the DreamWorks stuff. I love all that stuff. And the majority of I got in the 3D collection because these movies all come out in 3D. And of course, I got to get them for the collection. And when I watch a 3D movie, I'm going to make 3D reviews on here. That's something I noticed on YouTube. A lot of people have their Blu-ray collections. A lot of people have, not a lot, but there's a few people that they show off their 3D collections, but they really don't talk about how good the 3D is in the movies. And I'm going to do that when I get to there. Excuse me. This was surprising. I thought the animation was great in this. I'm talking about Dragon Hunters. Look at that while I burp. Forrest Whitaker is one of the voices. I really had a good time with this. I wish this was in 3D. Although there are some aspects of the animation that give it a very 3D feeling. But there are moments in here, like when the kid has to walk across the block, the floaty blocks, and the planet with all the stuff that looks like broccoli. Anyway, if you've seen the movie, you know the movie. If you haven't, check it out. It's a really cool movie. It's got some cool art design, and it's one of those CGI films. But adults like it as children. I would say look for it and try to get it. It's a fun movie. This movie I bought thinking it was one movie, and it wasn't. It was another movie. I was thinking this was... I can't remember what I was thinking of. But I thought when I bought this, it was that movie, and it wasn't. It was a different movie that I went, oh, this is that movie. This ain't that one, that other one I wanted. But after I saw it again, I actually liked it. I'm talking about Domino, Tony Scott's Domino movie. Tony Scott, man, we miss him. Sadly, he is gone. And he did some great stuff. The visual style of this is kind of cool. It's told in flashback. Mickey Rourke is really good in this. They're all good in this. And yeah, see it. I can't remember what the other movie is that I thought this was that I wanted. But anyway, Domino. It's in the collection. Domino. Okay, there's a lot written about this movie online. And I'm sure those people that have seen it have went out there and looked and read about it. But I was floored when I first saw this. It was just amazing. It was great. And talking about Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko, I'm not going to say much about it because I want to get going. But, yep, it's in the collection. Yeah, people don't like this because it's not accurate. I thought Val Kilmer did a fantastic job as Jim Morrison, talking about the Doors. I really like this movie. There are certain Oliver Stone movies that I give a pass to for certain reasons. You know, like Any Given Sunday. JFK is fantastic. I like Doors. I like this. This movie really got me into the Doors, although I knew the Doors and I liked them and I had some of their music. But when this came out, it really made me go, I'm going to start listening to that stuff again. And I did. Great. Wow. You're a rich man, Mookie. Fucking rich man. Do the Right Thing. I love the opening credit sequence with this, with Rosie Perez dancing and that, fight the power. Fight the power. Great movie. I think it's Spike Lee's best. This and gosh, the one with Ed Norton where he's going to go to prison and it's told kind of in flashback. It's like 27 hours, something like that. And it opened with like a tribute to the World Trade Center. That movie, that other Spike Lee movie, I really liked. I like Jungle Fever. Jungle Fever's all right. Mo Better Blues was fun. The early stuff. What's the one with the kids on the block? Anyway, Do the Right Thing. So many great performances. Danny Aiello, man. What's his name? Do the Right Thing, boy. What's his name? Wait, I'm just going to go through here. Ossie Davis. He's another missed actor that I love his work. If you haven't seen Do the Right Thing, because I don't want to watch some race black thing, and then important film, great photography, my favorite shot in the entire film. There's a shot of Ossie Davis, low angle, looking at him. I think he's talking to Mother Sister, and there's a street light above him. Yeah, it's a beautiful blue sky. The sun's going down, and he's talking, and all of a sudden the light just goes blink, and it goes on, and it's favorite shot in that movie. And he knows this movie is steamy. This movie radiates heat. When you watch this movie, it could be in the winter, you feel the heat. Spike was able to tap into that, the visuals, the ice, and the fans and the sweat. It's great. And it builds and it builds and it builds until it just has to pop and all hell breaks loose. Do the Right Thing. Just great. Well. This, again, couldn't wait for the U.S. release. I don't think there's a U.S. release coming. I know they announced some Hammer films recently, but I don't think this was one of them. This is this was just called Dracula, but in the U.S., and the way I remembered it, was Horror of Dracula. Chris Lee's second after Count Dracula, I think, was the first movie, or was this the first movie and Count Dracula was the second? I think this might have been the first. Anyway, this is a British release of Horror of Dracula. It comes with tons of extras. Restoration looks amazing. This even has extra footage that was from a Japanese, I believe, Laserdisc, Japanese print of the when he was deteriorating at the end. They added some stuff there. This movie, man, grew up watching it, loving it. My favorite Peter Cushing. Well, yeah, Van Helsing. Although I like him as Victor Frankenstein too. So, but Horror of Dracula it is my favorite Hammer film of all time. Chris Lee, we just lost him recently. So sad, such a stately, just a classy actor. I had this movie on Super 8 with, and it was weird, it was like the Super 8 box, but it had a bigger box around it because it came with a record, a real flimsy plastic record. It was just flimsy. It wasn't even the hard wax, and it had the grooves. And you put that on your turntable, and you put the needle on it, and it played the audio for the Super 8 movie. So when you started them all at once, and you had the sound. And the Super 8 movie was only like 12 minutes long, but it basically consisted of a little bit of the transfusion scene in the middle of the movie, to the point where the girl gets taken and they chase Dracula to the castle, and then the whole final thing with Cushing and him fighting. But the audio never synced up with the image. You always kind of had to like stop the record, or the speed of the projector was a little slower, and there wasn't a way you could speed it up. So the record thing, they did that with a number. I think there were like maybe 4 movies that had like a record with them, like one of those flimsy ones that you could. Now that brings me back to, I remember cereal boxes. On the back of the cereal boxes, I think it might have been for Archie's, the Archie song, and you basically cut out the back of the cardboard cereal box, and you put that on your turntable, and you listen to everything's Archie or whatever. Horror of Dracula. Great horror movie. Okay, horror movie. Based on a novel a book by Stephen King, Dreamcatcher. Guilty pleasure. Like it. I like the first half a lot more than the alien in the last half. I like the stuff in the cabin and what the hell's going on and the animals. But it's in the collection. It was a cheapie. Really like it. Here's why I got to defend my collection. Drill Bit Taylor. Oh, well, this to me, it's weird. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it's weird. It almost seems like the producers made a movie about kids being bullied in school. And then they said, we need star power, so let's get Owen Wilson. I couldn't remember his name. Let's get Owen. Where is Owen Wilson? He hasn't been doing much lately. I know there was an issue there with suicide, but I thought he was okay with that, or done with that. Anyway, it looks like they needed star power, so they brought in him, and because his scenes are they don't seem to fit with the rest. I love the stuff with the kids being bullied. I was bullied in school, and it was fun. But then they added. It seems like they added as an afterthought. Let's get a star in there, and well, he was a star at the time. But it's a fun movie. It's and this kid kind of looked like me growing up. But anyway, it's a guilty pleasure. It's one of the first Blu-rays I bought because I was trying to grow my collection, and I needed a comedy, and it came out, and I was like, hey, why not? I'll watch it. Like I said, I like the stuff with the kids. But when he comes in, it's kind of like, well, we only got 4 movies left, and I can go on and on and on about this movie, and I don't want to. And I just noticed, I thought he was just standing there, but now they got a hammer. Was this the original artwork? Was this the original poster? Or did they add that hammer just for the Blu-ray? Talking about Refn's Drive. Nicholas Winding Refn, yeah. Like I said, I could say so much about this. And Only God Forgives, which one we'll get to the O's. Visionary filmmaker. Very 80s feeling style. Great soundtrack. Great visuals. Albert Brooks, amazing in this. It's amazing when you see comedians do a serious role and they knock it out of the park. But anyway, if you don't know anything about Drive, what the hell's wrong with you? Get out there, get this movie. I'm sure you can get it in the bargains, pretty cheap now. Comes with some good, but great. I talked about this in my last night. Late at night, I was watching King Kong versus Godzilla, and I was saying about how I wish Toho would release the original uncut versions with the original language. And then I kind of got on a tirade about Jackie Chan movies, how much I love Jackie Chan, and every single freaking movie, just about, I think Super Cop might be original. But they do such horrible dubbing. Even when Jackie does his own dubbing in English, I want to hear the original score, the original audio. I want to hear the actors' voices, even though they dubbed back then. I want to hear them. Anyway, I'm talking about, yeah, this could be in the L's, but I don't know. For some reason, I got this in the D's for Drunken Master. It's actually Legend of the Drunken Master, but this is Drunken Master 2, actually. One of Jackie's greatest. There's a tiny little bit cut out of this at the very end for a really ridiculous reason, where he's acting drunk, and I don't know why. Anyway, great fight scenes, fantastic fight scenes. If for the 3D fans, if they were ever going to try to take a 2D movie and make it 3D, this Jackie Chan movie would be great, because there's lots of stuff coming right. Ooh, look at that 3D, like spears and things and the fist, and it would really be kind of cool. And the sets, the big factory set with the flames and the coals, and it would look great with a nice dimension, a nice depth. But this movie's fun. I picked it up. It's got the English dub. Where's the original dub? Where's the original cut? Come on. Jackie's got so many great movies. And the thing is, a lot of people only know Jackie Chan from the American movies like Rush Hour and stuff that he did, Shanghai Noon and all that. His early stuff is fantastic. There's so many great Jackie Chan movies out there that nobody's seen unless you really get into them and you look for the imports. They are releasing a lot of his earlier stuff, but it's totally horribly dubbed. All right. It makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. It made me laugh when I first saw it. Makes me laugh. I love stupid humor. I love stupid humor. Dude, where's my car? One of those movies when I saw the trailer, I said, I'm not going to see this. This is no. Had it on a Laserdisc. Was it on Laserdisc? Anyway, I had it on DVD. Now I got the Blu-ray. I love it. I laugh. Still to this day, I can watch that. And the giant girl. We are the popsicles and the. I kind of like the artwork on this, although I wish they kind of had the original poster art. But for modern audiences that never seen this movie, that this cover would probably get you. I gotta see this movie. The classic Duel. Saw it first on TV. Thought it was a TV movie. Apparently, it was a theatrical movie. Maybe got a small theatrical run at the time. But I remember seeing this on television. It was one of those movies in the 70s. You know, Night Gallery, this. Wow. Night Stalker. Good transfer on this. A lot of good extra. Well, a few good extras. But Dennis Weaver, intense. Battling against the truck. Who's the truck driver? And the final movie, the final movie of my D's, it's been an hour and a half, is Dumb and Dumber, unrated version, or both, maybe just the one. Anyway, haven't seen the sequel. Didn't want to see that sequel, but I haven't seen the one that they did. Dumb and Dumber 2? The new one. I haven't picked it up, haven't seen it. Trailer looked like a little too old to be acting like that, but they're Dumb and Dumber, so maybe it's good. Anyway, guys, that's makes me laugh. One of the Farrelly brothers, second one, I think, just makes me laugh. Guys, that's the D's. Thanks for watching. Wow, we actually got. I moved this camera again because my glass. I got to the end of the drink. Last sip, last call. Give me one for the road. Yeah, those are the D's. Big chunk out of my thing here. The F's. Oh no, we got the E's yet. E's are going to be short. The E's will be not too much. Yeah, and the F's are going to be big. The F's are going to be like the D's. So anyway, we're slowly getting along. We're slowly going through. I really appreciate everybody that's watching these videos, especially since the length of them are so long. I hope you're not jumping around. I hope you just sit back and watch, have some popcorn, watch Roger talk about the movies. And again, I hope I'm entertaining you guys. I hope you're enjoying them, and I hope they're interesting. I hope maybe some of the stuff that I showed you, you might go, hey, I kind of would like to have that in my collection, and go out there and search it out, like Doghouse or the Dr. Phibe special. Or if you're not a Doctor Who fan, pick up The Adventures of Space and Time. That's really good. Yeah, so I hope I've helped you out with maybe adding to your collection. Yeah, so I'm not going to go on. We're already at hour 32 and or more, because I got to put the credit and then the ending, and so that's that. Guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, I think that's all I need. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you just came here and just see this video, please subscribe down below so you can see other videos of mine. That way, when I do post one, you'll get an email so you'll know that the new one's out. Again, I really appreciate you guys subscribing and liking my videos. You know, I'm not going to bring up the likes anymore because I don't understand likes. And I don't think likes matter. I think it's just subscription. The more people that subscribe, the more people can share my stuff to other movie fans and maybe let them subscribe. Tell your friends about my videos. Like I said, I'm new. I'm just new to the scene. I just started here in the end of June putting these things up. And like I said, I've been getting a couple new subscribers. A lot of good. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Really, really thanks. And I hope you enjoy the movies. I hope you tune in next video so you can see the E-movies. Boy, I got a lot of movies. Again, go to bmoviecast.com. My shameless plug for Vince and the gang. Listen to his podcast. It's really good. There's some other ones out there I'll talk about. Saturday Night Insanity. Do a search. You'll find those guys. They do some great live videos and stuff. They're all good. And thanks for watching. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. Subscribe, like, go to those sites, enjoy the movies. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and tune in for another What's in the Box, which might come up today because I just did one. And those are good. I'm giving away stuff of mine that I don't want anymore, and like lobby cards and stuff. Lobby cards I'm giving away. Quick, go to my other video. What's in the box number 3? Maybe you'll get a cool lobby card from a movie. And thanks. Thank you, YouTubers. Thank you, BlueTubers, for liking and subscribing. And see you in the next video, folks. Bye.